Welcome to East Tennessee Pinball. Today I've got this flicker up. Brought in about a week or so ago. Just pulling it up here. The owner said it was not scoring. I talked to her and saying, let me check out all the scoring features because sometimes there's other things. Well, besides the scoring, there's bonus and bonus ladders, and you got to do something to get something else to work. All the little odds and ends that sometimes people don't even know they're not working. No cosmetics except for the cabinet. It's a shame because it's actually in decent shape. I'd love to replace that pop bumper. It's just so concentric and right in the middle of the playfield and a little nasty looking, but I'm not going to do that. I did talk her into letting me clean the legs. Already did that. Had those soaking in some evaporust. They were nasty looking. They look almost like new. So I'm going to start. I've already started a little bit. Had no grounding plug. Yeah, this is the plug that came out of it. These things are not very well grounded anyway. Basically, the only thing that's grounded on these old EMs is the transformer, but that's better than nothing. So, got a better power plug. I'm going to start with fuses, and who wants to make a bet if they're right or wrong? I bet they're wrong. So here's the fuse holder down here, and it looks pretty sorry. It's that one's kind of tight. That one's not too. Yeah, that one's actually kind of tight. That one's pretty loose there. I'm gonna just. It's all probably pulling this out. It's these type of connectors. They're just not very good. They're not reliable. I'm going to swap them out. I am going to pull these out. Okay, so we got an 8, 10, 10, 15. So this should be an 8. I don't know if that's going to focus for us. I'll pull them out and put them on the bench. 8, 10, 10. But it doesn't matter what order. We should have 8, 10, 10, 15. Let's see what we've got over here. Well, that's a big one. That's at least 15, I would say. You zoom in here a little bit. There we go. Gosh, that's better than reading glasses. Oh, that's USA. I'm on the wrong end. That's 15, okay. So we're just good so far. $10, about 100. No, 125 volt. 8. Wow, I think we're gonna have it. Having that 8 in there impressed me. I didn't. Oh, got another 15. So one of the 10s was a 15. So, yep, they were overfused. We got another couple of fuses, or at least one more. I'm guessing. Well, we probably got a line. Well, that might have been a line. The 8's probably the line fuse. Let me stand this playfield up for a second. Yeah, a lot of these EMs will have another fuse for the solenoids on the playfield, but I do not see one here. Maybe I'm missing it, but if y'all see it, yell out, scream, something. I think that's out. Yeah, that 8 is the line. It says so right there. So that's the 4 fuses right there. I got the schematics. I believe I've got a bag of stuff. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start by getting this thing soldering a new set of fuse holders. Next part, I turn the temperature down a little bit just so it doesn't run as far, and I also solder it upside down because when it does run to the other side, that's where I want it to harden on the top, because that's when we place in the wire is going to be on the other side. So just pre-placing a bunch of solder on here, and that will make it a lot easier to get these wires attached. Probably not hot enough. I'm quenching my iron, putting so much solder on it, cooling it down. There's a little hole on there, and it'll flow to the other side. Oops. That one, geez, I wasn't solidified yet. Ooh, still hot. So now I got a ball of solder up on the top to lay the wire into. Okay, I got a couple screws. I'll throw this back down in here. I like to go ahead and screw this down so it's not wiggling around while I'm trying to get everything soldered. Not really necessary to swap out those fuses, but you know, I'm going to. So 15. I get all my fuses from Steve. They're all American-made fuses. They're not the crappy little Chinese ones. And you wouldn't think it'd make a difference, but it absolutely does. If you look at the way those things are made, like see these, that's a 15 10 10. It's a big hunk of metal. You get those modern Chinese ones, it's a little tiny piece of metal, and I don't know what, so they're using a more conductive piece of metal in a smaller piece, and at the end it's just folded over the glass, and the cap just kind of squeezes it on there. So they're just crappy. So there's my 15. Well, I got that one in too far up. I'll set y'all down for a second. Okay, so I got the fuses in there, and I got a good power plug, so I should have a good power up to here. The next thing I normally do is just go through and check every switch in here, make sure it's opening and closing as it should, and go through all the units. So that's probably the bonus. Yeah, it's a bonus unit. Got a little tiny unit, so the spinner unit. These little baby units are always finicky, I guess is the word I'd use. There's probably some more units in the back. Yep. So we've got the ball count unit. And I guess the score reels are units if you like. Go through all those. I usually save the score reels for last because they're so much fun. This game's actually pretty clean. The other thing I always do is go through these Jones plugs. If I can get one of them off. Yeah, they're pretty nasty. I've seen a lot worse, but they need to all be cleaned. I'll leave those there for now, but usually the ones in the bottom of the cabinet are worse. I'll see if I'm going to grab those back there. I can. These things look like. Yeah. Oops, get my fingers out of the way. They're pretty corroded. And then there's these here for the coin door. Some of the Bally games have the fuses right over here, so all the power goes up here and then back. And these fuses, I mean the little Jones plugs right here, especially for the GI lights, they get toasty. I don't know. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and scrub these. I do it different ways. Sometimes I'll use a little wire wheel and a Dremel, and sometimes I'll use some Scotch-Brite. I think I'll just use some Scotch-Brite on these. I think it just depends how bad they are and what. I just go as aggressive as I need, and Scotch-Brite I think will be fine for these, so I think that's what I'll do. By the way, when you're cleaning these Jones plugs, you need to look at what type of female fitting it goes in there. So these basically, they touch on the outside and the inside. So really, it's this outer surface that you can see. It's the outside, and then in between the two rows, and then the other outside. That's the ones that really make a difference. Some of them are actually, it's the sides between all the pins. And those are harder to clean. So I'm going to focus mostly on this outside, and the column in between. So I just put about 30 seconds on this one to the left. You can tell the difference. Just the Scotch-Brite, the outside on both rows. And they're not absolutely perfect, but they're a ton better than this other one. They've got they're not shiny at all. So it doesn't take too long. Especially if you can do it with the Scotch-Brite. The Scotch-Brite's super fast. So, just the regular green old Scotch-Brite. To get in the middle, I usually just fold it over one time and jam it in there, and then just slide it back and forth. It's kind of hard because it wants to snag, but you gotta get it bent just right, and you can get in the middle row pretty well. So this is the ball count unit here. I haven't done anything to it yet. It seems to be working just fine. I'll probably go ahead and clean these rivets and lubricate them, but stepping up easily, stepping down. And it's got two switches here. And if you take it all the way, see that opens one step up, it's closed. And this one here, you got to go all the way around to get that little nub to hit it. And one step and it should open, and it's open. Okay, so this one, the only thing I'm going to do to it, I probably won't even take the spider gear off of there. I'll just clean the rivets between, rotate it, clean them again, rotate it, and so I can get them all clean. Put a little PBR grease on there, and that one will be done. All right, reach underneath, turn it on. Okay, well, we've got lights for the quarters here. No other lights. Okay, left flipper and all the lights came on. Let me turn off my headlamp. Got all the GI lights on, or most of them anyway. Press the credit button. So we've got, just for fun, let me. I think we had one of them had a 10, but now we've got a 3, and then there's also a 10 there. So let's, I'm going to coin up, see what, or press credit button. Okay, so we've got a 500 point switch somewhere. I'm going to go find out where this 500 point switch is. I think this is it right here. That's the left out lane. Says 500 points. Yep, that was it. So you hear that. This was a 50 or 500 or something. So that's just manual. Got a little 40 volts going through my finger. Okay, that's not adjusted right, but at least it shut up enough so Jane's not going to. All right, we'll get that later. Okay, so let me put this playfield back down. Go down, stick. There we go. We got clippers. When that pop bumper hit, something locked on. It was, I'm not sure what happened, but it didn't like the pop bumper, so I turned it off. So I saw the bonus come down, and now it's at 1. That's a lot of games start at 1. I'm assuming that's right. So I'm just gonna. That's not working. Surely it would do something. I mean, it's not lit, but you'd think it'd do something. Yeah, it's locking on. Try it one more time here. That's pretty sticky. Y'all can't see what I'm doing. Well, that one doesn't work either. They're probably tied together. So it's probably not a switch issue. If anything, it's probably either it's not supposed to do anything until it's lit, or that's supposed to have a captive ball in there like that one. Yep. All right. that's the one I just mangled up, getting it to not go. So, okay, so we got A through D double bonus, so we got 5, so we should get 10,000 bonus. It's pretty much playing. Let's go do a try 2-player. So it should have 1,000 bonus. Player 2's up. Let's go hit a few scores. I'm gonna try to get this A, B, C, D. And that button's sticking. Okay, so we only have 2,000 bonus. How about the spinner? We didn't do anything with that. Well, that spinner unit is working because the circles are going. It's not showing through. I gotta turn my light off here. The circle, the little. So that little spinner unit is what makes this thing move around. So it's working. So what do we need? A, B, C. Okay, double bonus. So we got 7. So we should get to 14. I think it's up to 30. Well, cool. It's mostly working. I mean, I guess this out lane, gotta adjust that for sure. This pop bumper locks on something, and the special, I don't know. We'll have to look at the schematics and see if that's supposed to be live all the time or only when that's lit. A lot of these star rollovers they're just dirty. Unfortunately, right now you can't. I normally what I would like to do is they've got the little nub on the bottom, and I just snip that off, pull it off, and put a new one in there. And while it's empty, clean it out a little bit with some alcohol. And that's the easiest, I think, the best solution. You know, you buy them in bulk for like $1 a piece, fast and easy. There's really no great way to clean them otherwise. You can kind of clean them to where they'll move up and down, but they're still gonna be kind of dirty looking. But everybody sold out of them. Talked to Steve, and he can't get them. I bought the last 12 that Marco had the other day. I've got a handful of them. I'm not gonna spend my rest of my inventory on this game. Again, that doesn't want any cosmetics done, so I'll clean them up with some alcohol so they move, but they won't be clean. So I am going to go ahead, go through the switches, just kind of for maintenance and make sure everything's working. And that may fix this problem. It may fix those. I'll go ahead and do that. That will take, I don't know, an hour or so, and we'll see where we're at after that. So I'm going to work on the special issue here for those 2 lights up there. Trying to figure out what the logic is behind them. So I found the special relay first. So I kind of want to start it here. It's got 2 legs on here. This leg here, you see the special relay that's normally open. So that leg is something that keeps this energized. Once this gets energized, and these are both normally closed, it will keep going through this path, and it will keep that special relay closed until either one of these opens, and then that will open and keep it open. So that's not the path to energize this initially. It's from this other side. So you look on the other side, so you have to have the left lane target or the right lane target. So that's actually either of those 2 switches, I believe, the 2 red ones that I was pressing. But the other issue, I've lost the place on the playfield. You have to have 15,000 bonus relay. So essentially you have to have the bonus maxed out. So I think I'm already coined up. To how advanced bonus right there. Okay. There's 10. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yes. And my light is flickering a little bit, but and that's actual flicker. That's not just my phone. So it's working. So that you don't get any points from that unless it's lit, and even then you don't get any points, but you do get a quarter. There's probably a plug in the back so you can turn that special into an extra ball. All of these games. Balls per game, match feature, on or off. Oh, we could look. A lot of times there'll be a sticker. It looks like most of them are in here, but I don't see one for defining what the special does. That's all setting your what your high score is. Anyway. So anyway, that's working. So this pop bumper. Let me turn this off. It's that 100 point. So that 100 point was engaged. So it could be as simple as this pop bumper is not, the end of stroke is not releasing. So let me try it on the player 2 score. So a 2-player game. Player 2. So we're on player 2. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna turn the game off. So something is energized. Yeah, it's the 100 point. So something's hanging up in there, either some of the pop from the pop bumper itself or the 100 point relay. Don't think it's a 100 point relay because there's other 100 points that are working. So it may be the pop bumper itself is the end stroke is not opening up down there. So I'll have to look at that. So this is pretty weird. So that's a normally closed switch, and this is the switch that drives it. But watch what happens when I pull this down. The spoon is moving also. So it's coming down. Sometimes this whole thing, I'm gonna reach around. Now the pop bumper itself is not loose, but basically when I pull this down, if you watch real closely at the spoon, something's hitting, and it's moving the spoon. You see that? And then it's engaging. So something's not quite right. See that? So, yeah, it's arcing. I may get a new pop bumper after all. It's gonna have to come apart in any case. So this is a new one to me. So when this thing engages, it's hitting the skirt, depending on how it sits in there, and then that skirt's driving down, closing the spoon, and then forcing it to energize again. So it's got a lot of slop in it. So new pop bumper. I think I started this video by saying how I want to replace that. Somebody listening to me? Well, I can see the difference now. Those 4 major holes, they're just all wallered out. So that allowed it to get sideways and get caught. So that was the issue. That was a weird one. They're always a little weird. Oh, gotta get my lamp. I usually stick it through here first. That makes it a little easier to fish through the rest. So I went through, fixed a few more things, fixed this switch here, just straightened up the physical switch itself, replaced a couple of bulbs, went through the unit for this, went through the unit for the match. Everything's working. Every single thing is playing. So again, I've got the chime unit undone right now. So I'm going to go. Oh, the flipper. Yeah, the flipper bat's busted there. That's not going to work. And the bushings are pretty sorry. This one's got metal links on it. It's the. I'll just show you. It's a type that's very rigorous. You've seen this stuff. On the end of this, there's a little nylon sleeve that kind of fits in a groove on the inside of that. So that's a wear part. And yeah, this whole thing, that coil stop is loose there. Coil stop's probably toast. So I'm put some new parts on the coil or the for the flippers, and so we'll do that. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because rebuilding flippers, y'all seen that before, and I'll stop it here. So if you like the video, click like and click subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.